I believe we all have a ton of problems in life. That's just a thing. That's a human thing. All of us. If you're a single dude trying to figure it all out, you know, become this raging success, live your best life, achieve your hopes and dreams, do everything that you could possibly do before it's said and done for you, then problems, especially so, you know, it can be argued the path of self improvement, the path of self discovery and self actualization. I mean, keep it biblical. Like, just use God. The narrow path with your cross, these pathways give you the most problems in life. Who could have known that one of the worst ones to have as a man is the absence of meaning in your life? When you really, really boil it all the way down, you know, if you want to just like look at your life right now, bro, and I'm going to take a gander at mine, and we're going to really try and just like chisel it and whittle it all the way down to the core of the problem. What is wrong with this picture? What is really going on here that is just making every day such a headache? You could argue. Okay, I get, which is what this deep dive tonight is all about. The argument is it's a issue of meaning. If I could be really specific right here, the meaning of you. Now, I'm always recommending dudes pursue what I love to call the project of you. That's not that deep. That's self improvement. That's just another way to say it. But the project of you is living your best life. You already know that is the daily scheduling, that is the actionable steps, that's the planning. If you're already doing this, you definitely got some goals you're trying to hit. It's like, okay, so Monday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't even go that far. I commend any man who does. I need to get better with this. I'm very much let's just leave it. I mean, this is biblical though. Like, no, like for real, that's in the scripture, but I'm just gonna try to leave it to today. You know, it's a clean trinity. You know, I did like when when you rock in with God, it's almost inevitable you become a big fan of three. I don't know, like what is it with pops and three? It's dope, like I dig it. I'm a big fan. So you got the morning phase, and you got your afternoon phase, and you got your evening phase. And those are the three phases. It's like challenge number 1, 2, and 3. Well defined meaning puts you in charge of exactly how you are going to live that. Let's, okay, strip away lifetime, decades, the rest of 2026, the rest of this year, the rest of this month, the rest of this week. Yeah, take all of that away. Just use today. That is the primary challenge right there. You have to figure all of this out and structure it where you have a killer morning, a great start, a focused, concentrated afternoon, and then a great close too. All sorts of things to juggle. If I could just quick fire some basics, that's a strong morning routine. This is properly allocated time for deep work. This is knowing when to take a break, right? Got to remember to hydrate. Got to remember to get good nutrition. And then you're moving into however you close your day, whether that is winding down or for some, for many that I know of, it's more work. Okay. And then you got to lock in your bedtime routine so you can rinse and repeat. Essentially, that's a very, 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 that's a very simplified system of what we need, like what guys literally have to do. It's not really a choice. If you're trying in life, you're trying for success, financial freedom, your goals, all that beautiful stuff. That's what it's all about. If you're having trouble with that, then this episode is for you, brother. I'm having trouble with this right now. Okay. So I guess that's kind of why it's on my spirit. And I just really needed to yap about it tonight. I'm constantly thinking to myself when we're evaluating this problem of, okay, why am I not trying? Like what's going on in my life right now that's preventing me from really going after it every single day in the way that I just explained. Simple. All right. The three phases: morning, afternoon, evening. You could attribute that to a lot. You absolutely can. Personal struggles, environment, mental health, financial problems, resource problems. It really can be all sorts of things. Okay. It's not uncommon for a single man to be working 2 to 3 jobs. Three is maybe more on the rare side, but 2 jobs, holding down two, because right, to ensure car, gas, insurance, rent, utilities, groceries, hopefully a little bit extra just for personal comfort, right? What is that going to give you back every single week? How much, like, truly free time that just genuinely belongs to you? You don't need to do anything for anyone else. It's just, what do I want to do for me every single week? That might not be a lot. And then you must funnel that free time into this system. If it's a day off, it's the full day. It's all three. If it's not, then maybe super, super early morning is all you can squeeze in. If you can squeeze it, that's the challenge. You work night shift, right? I mean, then you also got to sleep too. So maybe the afternoon is where you got to really, that's crunch time before the evening rolls around, which is when you got to start getting ready for work. And then your shift starts at night. If you know what I'm saying, as a night worker, if I believe the majority, what's most common, something like a 9 to 5, right? You want to come on, throw in traffic as well. Good Lord. Like that is a inevitability of modern life. And so you're back. And you got, what is that? You got that like 6 to 10, or you got that like 7 to 10. And that's what you got to lock in to live your best life. So with this picture I've painted so far, what has become abundantly clear is the challenge, like the nature of the 21st century game for a man is most of your time is going to be taken from you. That's not a bad thing. It doesn't feel good, but this is what I mean. You got to draw the line. Like because if you don't draw a line, you're just going to go insane. I believe this. If you don't make sure to, realize the positivity out of your unique life situation, brother, that storm cloud, don't be like me. That storm cloud is going to follow you wherever you go. Okay. So if you don't have that much time, but the reason why you don't have that much time is because you're doing well. Am I confusing you? You're doing well because you're surviving. You're surviving because you are being responsible enough, brother. As a man, you are holding yourself accountable enough that you're still doing what must be done to move forward. I get it, brother. I really do. You might be, you might be like super depressed. Okay, you may very well be exhausted. You know, like anxious about I don't know how long I can keep it together. Okay, and I might, I might snap sooner or later, and it feels like a lot sooner right now. Whatever, whatever your personal burdens are that you are carrying at the same time that you are continuing. That's Come on, dude. That's awesome. That that's incredible. It really is because Lord knows you don't have to. Real quick, real quick. I don't want to go too deep in this because it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna we're gonna totally veer off. But I do want to say free will is horrifying in this way. Free will is scary in this way. You see it on the news. It's happening more and more. Guys who, you know, are snapping. The weight of it all is too much as a burden. All that existential dread, all of that societal pressure, all those years as an outcast, you know, like believing because of individual circumstance and you live it long enough, you believe I don't matter. So if I don't, then none of this does. And if none of this does, then I'm gonna do whatever I want. And that can easily translate into something very destructive for both himself and all those around him. And that's what I mean by a man snapping, losing it in this way. That because you can. That's free will right there. So for the guys, whether you're doing this quietly or not, most of us are. For the guys who are like, no, I'm not. I am in pain. You feel me on that, bro? I am in pain. It does hurt, but I'm not going to, do anything crazy like that. I'm just going to try and keep going somehow, some way. I'm just going to try and figure it out. That's the positive side. You're doing whatever it is that you can do to hold it together and keep going. This does not, here's the bad news. And I have to go here because I believe it's the truth. And see if you agree, bro. But just because you're doing what is necessary to continue in life, and that's awesome, I established that. But just because you are making it to the next day and the next and the next, that by no means equates to you leading an excellent life. Like you love life. Like you're super excited. You're very enthusiastic to like wake up and go about the events of your daily experiences. This is what's so real, and it's very raw and it's brutal. A man can do that and be completely miserable, like absolutely. He can't stand it. It's a testament to his resilience, his masculinity, his fortitude, all of that, much more, his strength, much more. But how do you get out of that? How do you get out of living a life where it's barely tolerable, barely, to, right, that transition to, I love my life. This is how I want to live it, and this is what I want to do. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know exactly where I'm going to end up living like this. What I do know for certain is that I want to continue to live. That's that's everything. Like really, really think about this, bro. That's everything because the process is difficult, man. Hitting that Trinity every single day is difficult, brother. Okay? Clean morning, great day. Okay? Healthy and disciplined close to the night over and over and over. That's difficult. Okay. Entrepreneurship, content creation, you know what I mean? Um, Even being a great employee, okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with being an employee. Pick your lane, pick your domain. It's all going to be difficult if you're trying to excel at it in life to the point you're not just surviving anymore. You're thriving off of it. If you're not doing that and you're still keeping it together, like, hey, I hate my life, but one thing's for certain, I keep to myself and I'm just continuing to live. That that right there, the difference between these two worldviews, the difference between these two life pathways is meaning. That's what I'm trying to say. It's 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 meaning, bro. Meaning as in who you are. Truly. Like, okay? Why do you exist? Eh, One of my favorite frames. This is one of my favorite frames. You don't need money to do it. That's just you just don't need to worry about resource. So we'll just use money. Money is kind of it's the one that rules all of us in this day and age. So that's why I'm using it. A non-issue. Like you have everything that you need. It's all free. And on top of that, when you do it, no one will know. It's just not possible. For the sake of the example, it is not possible for anyone to know. What would you do? It I love this exercise because it forces you to think about what lights you up. Like what moves you in this way? What forces you to try and figure it out? What makes you naturally think, what else is there? Like what else is going on with this? Can I go deeper with this? Are there further layers of understanding I haven't hit yet? And if they exist, I want to get into this. Very quickly, a man can begin to, see, feel, certain avenues of skill, hobby, interest, passion, art, just an endeavor or a pursuit of some kind. That's meaning. That's meaning in life. I'm not saying it's easy. It's actually not easy at all to live a meaningful life, because to do that, you are accepting you're going to do something very specifically. You're going to do something very intentionally with an end goal in mind. The bigger, the greater it is, the more difficult. If you're thinking right now, okay, well, I agree. I need more meaning in my life, and then it'll be way better. It'll be much more enjoyable. It'll be a lot more satisfying to wake up to every single day. Yes, yes, and yes, brother. I agree to all of that. Here's here's this may be one of the first problems, okay, that you are going to collide with as a man trying to live a meaningful life, trying to escape the the pain and suffering of just having your life looped on a vicious cycle of just never really doing anything with yourself or going anywhere in life. No meaning. Okay, you're trying to get away from that. Great. So once you really get started, and once you go, you're so whatever, however you craft the meaning of your own life, who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go, how you're going to pull this off, all of these questions. Okay, what do I want to go all in on? What do I want to invest in? Because it will most likely take years, and you're going to need to give it time. You're going to need to learn it, practice it, iterate it, repeat it, etc., etc. As you do that in life, you very quickly realize, I only want to do this though because X, Y, and Z. I'm going to try and just iterate the most common ones. And I say common because of how many of us together as modern male human beings, so many of us, I want to say the vast majority, most of us want these things. That's why I say common. By no means are they trivial, though. What I'm about to mention, I genuinely believe are some of the greatest treasures a man could ever experience in life. Peak, brother. Like this is when a man has this in life, you see any man who has these things in life, he's abundantly rich. He's extremely rich. He's undeniably rich. The love of his life, the one true queen, that's the wifey. And then if both of you are down and you're able to, your kids. That's the nuclear family unit. Okay? And then just one more. Okay, like okay, bro. You want to throw in the Ferrari and you know what I'm saying, the house on the hill, and whatever, man. You know what I mean? Like uh, you want maybe the finer things in life, like you really trying to ball out. Okay, one of the most baller pun intended, one of the most baller things I've ever seen is an actual basketball court, at your place. Like less ball, but like you don't go anywhere, you just, what I'm saying, you just, it's a part of where you live. I'll never forget, because I've actually seen it. I'll never forget my first time seeing it. I was just like, oh my god, this is gangsta. Goals in life. But that's stuff. These three right here, your woman, your legacy, your babies, bro. Right, that you're going to try to raise into great people, okay? Ideally, better than you. That's the goal. That's got to be the goal. And then financial freedom. To pay for all of this is quite expensive. All right, no shade, brother. I'm not throwing any shade at women or children, but it's pricey. That's the three. I do you agree? Most dudes are like, would be like, sign me up. Yes, exactly. That's, yeah, like that sounds fire. That's exactly what I want to do. And so I welcome you, brother, to maybe now. Are we there yet? Almost the core of the issue. because these things are so amazing, because these things are so valuable to a man, you have to give it everything. You got to give it everything. You got to try. You got to try. You got to try as hard as you can. You got to show up every day. If not every day, as often as you can. Like your best efforts. And that varies. That varies, according to the individual man. Oh, oh, and that right there is between you and God. Only you are going to know if you are truly giving it everything you got. You with me, bro? You know what I mean? Like, okay. So, a man's best life in the 21st century is going to be him, his family, and then a way to support all of that, essentially. That is really, really, really difficult when you're single, right? You got to go through that process, and you don't have much money. You got to go through that process, and you don't really have any skills. You don't know much. You got to go through that process. This is so difficult because all of that meaning and all of that purpose that used to be taken care of for a man way back in the day, because survival was imperative. You know, you know, we were so much more. We still are, but I believe we were so much more of a physical specimen in that era of human history. You hunters and gatherers, you just needed to make sure you woke up every single day, right? And you got together with your boys and you went out there and you did your very best to make sure everyone came back alive with food. No guesswork. There was These conversations were not possible because you didn't need to have them. Right? You open your eyes and it's just, I know. I know. Where's my spear? I just know. I know what to do. Today, you got to figure that out. If you want what I just said, if you're one of the guys who wants what most guys want, in the way that I explained it, you got to figure this out, right? Meaning, what does that look like? Straight up, like what does that really, really, really look like? Okay, and now I can finally bring in, all right, the main header for tonight's episode on the Pillars of Man podcast. You know me, bro. If you know this show, and if you don't, I do. I'm a big fan of movies. I'm a huge movie buff, so I do a lot of film dives and film analysis with the topic of the episode. And tonight, I am bringing in. Let's see, Constantine. Yeah, that's right. That's his last name, full name John Constantine, but the film itself, Constantine 2005, starring Keanu Reeves. Just caught it. And it's not a horror film, but it absolutely talks about good versus evil, heaven and hell. And so, if heaven is in the conversation, then yes, divinity, holiness, light, and angels. And then if hell is in the conversation, you get some fire and brimstone and demons and creepy crawlies. And this film has all of that. So viewer discretion is advised. And I got to drop my usual disclaimer whenever I'm using a movie for any given episode. There may be some spoilers up ahead. So you have been warned, and I do highly recommend you watch the film before we vibe out for the rest of the night. But without further ado, Constantine is exactly the man who is battling for meaning in this day and age. It's such, I found Keanu Reeves' performance as Constantine, it's so relatable because that's what it looks like and that's how it feels. When you are if you remember, I mentioned earlier, when a man is just continuing when he doesn't want to, like, it's actually really painful to continue, but I'm a man. This gets a little stereotypical, man up, suck it up, okay? You like, masculinity, what do the youngins like to say? Sigma, alpha, you know what I'm saying? Like the edgy lone wolf, whatever. You just got to keep it going. And this guy is very depressed. How about, yeah, probably a little bit, but he's more resentful and bitter than anything else. He's just really mean. He's not like, he's cold. All right. And that he's become so calloused, you know. He's very hardened because of how brutal life has been to him. So the origin of this character Constantine, who's actually, and I didn't know this. I found it out. Like doing a little bit of research on this film after watching it. But this is a part of the DCU. I'm a big fan. I don't know if you are. I'm a big comic book guy. All right, I love it all. DCU, MCU. I believe I am more of a DCU. If I you got to pick, okay, is DC or Marvel? DC or Marvel? That's actually so difficult because I really do love both. But if I got to go with one, I'm pretty sure I'd go with DC. And so this is the same universe as Bruce and Gotham. You know what I'm saying? Clark and Metropolis and Hal Jordan with the ring. You know what I'm saying? Barry with the track star, etc., etc. Okay, it's a very long list. Constantine is one of these guys. Okay, and yet he's, I want to say, 100p. He is an outcast, though. He's not your typical poster boy. Okay, with the with the cape and the pose and the smile. He's none of that. Constantine kind of hates everybody and everything. It's interesting because a lot of us are like that nowadays in the 21st century. It's not that I'm trying to speak on behalf of men right now, but if I could just use myself, you get, when your life is meaningless, you get really bitter. Do you feel me on that, bro? Like when you see other people doing well, I'm not even going to take it that far. You're just in the proximity. You're in like a close vicinity. Out and about in public. Someone's next to you while you're both waiting for the crosswalk to, right, tell you, hey, it's safe. All the cars have stopped. Go ahead. And you can just clearly see whoever this human being is. Let me use the soul. You can clearly see this soul is enjoying life. The youngins like to say, vibing, big vibes. Just having, balling. Okay, all right, I'm gonna stop. They're just having a good time. Just having a genuinely great time in life. When you're not, when you're dealing with bitterness, when that lights you up in a bad way, it pisses you off. It's like, why? What are you so positive? You know what I mean? What are you in such a great mood about? Life sucks, but it doesn't. It's just very difficult for a man who's struggling. When his foundation for daily experiences is misery and bitterness and resentment, it's very difficult for him to see that, let alone see it. It's very difficult for him to feel that, believe in that. Constantine, so my personal interpretation, Constantine is like this, bro. Constantine is just like this. That's how he feels. Now, here's what's crazy though. But he still does what he does, though. This is what anti hero, but hero nonetheless. He fights for us. Okay. John Constant. All right. Let me, I'm going to tone down the dramaticness. Okay. We'll just roll. His name's John. So, John, he spends his free time, like, this is just how he lives. He's an exorcist. He goes around hunting and banishing demons. You know, like yes, like all of that woo woo, like spirituality. Hold on, I want to be ultra clear. You know, I went deep with Chat GPT on this because I was like, hold on a second. You know, I've I've read a decent amount of the Bible. How much of this stuff is barely any of it? Symbolically, sure. Metaphorically, yeah. Oh, of course. You know, because you know it's fiction, but it's based off of, you know what I mean, dad. So, but none of it is true. None of it's actually in the Bible. No. This is all, you know, superhero lore. But the way he lives, though, that's where I want your focus to be right now. Like, how does that work? He's Constantine is suicidal. He's not doing anything to hurt himself, but he's kind of seems to be threading that fine line. And this is what I mean. How he lives, he absolutely, you can see it. You see in the way he fights. You see in how he, do you know what I mean? Just like how the man walks around. He doesn't care about himself. There's no self-preservation whatsoever. He could care less. He only cares about what he does. Remember, brother, I was trying to help both of us identify, you know, what is it? What is you know, what is one of the most important aspects? One of the greatest answers you and I need to be able to answer, to to know and understand in order to have a wonderful life. It's meaning. Constantine, even though he hates himself, I, I'm my personal interpretation. I think I know why. I'm trying to take it there, but he hates himself. He even kind of, right, like hates reality. But this man has all the meaning. His life is filled with it. Actually, that's what's kind of crazy, you know, because he's chain smoking himself to death. Literally, it's like, you know, like, oh my god, you know, like he is, you know, he always has a sig, but then remember that scene, he actually goes into the doctor's office and the doctor was like, yo, it's been years and you won't listen, and now you're actually, you got like no more than half a year left, like you're out of here soon because you just won't stop. And his answer, his, like, there was dialogue, but come on, man, like his answer, he just lights up another one. He gives absolutely no fudges about himself. But you see the way that he treats the the actress, you know, the woman that needs his help, you know, where the, you know, the son of the devil was going to be born through her, you know, how much, well, they kind of, all right, you know what I'm saying? Baby girl got it going on. I'll be real right here. He does fall in love. Like I would have too. You know, so there's that, so there's the, of course it's Hollywood. Of course it's gonna be romance. But besides falling for her, it's he knows, I need to help this woman. She's in trouble. You know what I mean? Like like these demons are trying to kill her, take her soul, like awful stuff. And she's not the only one. All sorts of people, human beings in general. Okay, if I could go wider than this now, that's the collective good of humanity that we're getting at now. That's crazy. Brother, that's a lot of meaning in life. What do? I trying to save human beings from demons. I'm trying to prevent as many people as possible from going to hell. Yes, and I guess that's the summary of my job description. It's crazy. And it's like, why? If I could try to go a little bit deeper now and get into his psychology, well, he comes from trauma. He comes from a ton of pain because that's his gift. His gift is his curse at the very same time. Like, this is why he's a superhero, because he was born. He said it himself. He's like, I don't know why God. This may not be a direct movie quote, but I'm just really trying to remember now. I believe John said something along the lines of, God cursed me with this. That's tough. That's really tough. You know, I don't know if you're a Christian yourself, but God is so great. He's so incredible. How he so wonderfully and fearfully makes each and every single one of us. John, John does John does not care. He's on the contrary, he's not a fan of that. Even though he's trying to make sure he gets into heaven. And I believe he's doing that because he goes to hell quite often. No, he remember he actually takes portals and goes. Sometimes his missions he needs to, for whatever I need to like see this, or like, you know what I'm saying, or like talk to, like, wag my finger at this particular demon. I don't know, freaking crazy stuff. And he goes, and yeah, it's yeah, the very, I want to say, it's very accurate portrayal of hell. Not a fun place to be. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw it too. Not a fun place to be. Definitely nowhere any one of us should any one of us. Nowhere, it's nowhere any being should go. Biblically, in the way that I understand it, from actual Christian faith, it's the one place dad isn't. That's why it's hell. That's the dad's everywhere except hell. It's almost for me, like, this is the definition of why it's such an awful place, because it's the one truly godless place. Father's all of it. So if he's not there, no light, no love, no redemption, no repentance, no forgiveness, no second chance, no nothing. It's the void. It's total absence of anything that's of God. And so, come on. I mean, this is John Constantine. We're talking about his life revolves around the battle between heaven and hell. And so I think with that much personal experience, this man understands. Yes, like, even I need to, make sure I get up there, however I do. And so works. Again, this is also in the Bible. Human beings can do works. Like, hey, God, look, look at how I'm these donations, and look at the way I talk about you, and look at look at my car. It's all white. Look at I got crosses everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I got look at the front door of my house. It says it's got I heart God, like, works. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, let me know down in the comments below, because I don't have this memorized, but I'm really trying to remember what, I have some wonderful Christian mentors that taught me it doesn't come down to works. Do good and do good and do great works, but works is not how. It's faith. Ultimately, that's the imperative. I believe the Bible says, For without faith, Father cannot be pleased. You could be the best Christian. You could be, you know what I'm saying? You could be the sweetest Christian. But if it's just works and you don't really believe and have that faith, you know, God is God, and his son really did everything that he did to save us, and it doesn't matter. That's pretty crazy. But Constantine, this fellow, rebellious in this way, I guess. I mean, not I don't believe he's trying to be insolent. John is broken. Very relatable. Very relatable. And I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, oh, look at all of us. I'm not saying like, look at all of us as 21st century men. We're all sob stories. It's that most, especially guys that are alone, most modern male human beings know pain. I mean, that's that's much more of a human thing than a modern male thing, but I'm just talking to the boys. These guys know pain. Because of John's curse, he's known pain as well all his life. He was born being able to see the demons that are inside people. He doesn't even see them as remember like his vision is gnarly. Bro, you know, have you I've had my fair share of nightmares. Everyone has. I mean, think of your worst. But that's life. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't wake up, it's like, oh, okay, it's over. No. If anything, for John, sleep was solace. If anything, sleep was, you know, a haven, because when he woke up and when he lives life, that's what he sees. This is a fallen world. I'm I don't believe that like um stepping out of the film, the the universe that this film is in, Constantine, stepping out of that for a second, in regards to our reality, like right here on planet Earth in 2026, in this universe. No, no, I don't believe everyone's got everyone's walking around with demons inside of them. No. Um, do I believe in possessions? Do I believe that does happen and has happened? And this, you know, like, do I believe like exorcisms? I believe all that stuff is real, but that's rare. That's most people, thankfully, that's not what it's like. I believe we all have evil inside of us. That's what I believe. That's me. I believe everyone's evil. I believe every single human being is evil. I believe human beings who say I'm not evil, you got to be really careful. Maybe not necessarily of the person, but I'm so wary of that statement, I'm not evil. That's just me, though. Like, that's very personal. Just a humble philosophical opinion of mine. Every single human being has evil in them. So going back into the film, it seems, for me, the interpretation is John, that's what he's seeing. Like, you and I can't see that. I believe you'd have to have you'd have to be gifted an extremely keen and intuitive eye to see that like right off the bat. I mean, I'm just thinking about it right now. I can't. I don't know about you, bro. Like when you meet somebody, you're gonna have to get to know them. You're gonna need some time. Time tells. What is it? Time will tell. So the nature of time reveals all. But I mean, you know what I mean? That depends on the friendship or the relationship. That depends how much and who is, you know, like factors, several factors going into this for you to truthfully deduce. Oh, okay, this okay, all right. Oh, okay, this person is like really evil. John Constantine. first sight. That's crazy. Love at first sight. Try demons at first sight. Ever since he was a little boy. And when he was young, he didn't get it. It's like, this can't be real. Why does everyone look like this? I must be crazy. And his parents thought the same thing. Sent him to a freaking asylum where they did terrible things to him. Trying to, I don't know. This is like back in the day. Mental health was not really as well researched and well studied as it is today. They're really just torturing him. You know, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just going off of movies right now. I just want to make that clear. I'm actually like, I'm not sure, but if you know, then by all means put it in the comments. But didn't they shock people back in the day? Didn't they like electricity? Like, okay, if we just shock you enough, you're gonna not be crazy anymore. Like that's what I mean by torture. Just the crazy, we just didn't know what we were doing. That's a very human thing. Oh, goodness gracious. And that's what they did to him. And so it got to that point where he tried to unalive himself. He was, I think he was, John was a teenager. Just couldn't take it anymore. And, I don't know. So somehow he survived. Of course. You know what I'm saying, bro? Of course, I'm going to believe God would not allow him to leave just yet because he needed his son to stay so that he could do everything we watched him do throughout this movie. Live the meaning of his life as bitter, as difficult, as much as he didn't want to, as much as he hated it. He needed to, though. He needed to live the meaning of himself. And his is to be Constantine, the demon hunter. That's exactly what we watch him do. When you switch, you place put John in yourself, or you put yourself in John's shoes. However you do that swap, isn't that so similar to the modern male plight? Is that not what that is? This is when I was like, for me, I geek out in this way. It's just kind of like what I do. I was like, this is crazy. The modern male plight is you versus all of these demons, all of this evil. Okay, it's not that deep because reality is like, you know what I mean? Like, my alarm is going off. I want to sleep in. That's not a demon, but if it's ruining your life, if that makes the difference between you having an amazing day, making amazing progress, and you not, now the situation gets a little bit more grim. Like, brother, that's tough. On the surface, it seems as though none of this stuff is that deep. Like if you're looking at me right now and you're thinking to yourself, Jason, it's not that serious. I saw the movie too. Great movie, but that's not how it works for us. No, but at the same time, how do you chase meaning in life? Do you see what I see, bro? Okay, I'm gonna bring it back real quick to the simple foundation of one day at a time. The Bible says one day at a time. The Bible says one day at a time. Which I learned recently, and I kind of was like, I was kind of like, oh, this would have been, because it's been years for me. I was like, man, I definitely heard this earlier. I just forgot, and it would have been it would have helped me a lot if I had just ran with this one. It's fine. I'm just being, I'm being, I'm a knucklehead. I'm just being bitter. Focus on today. Focus on today, because tomorrow is going to have its own challenges. And but you're not there yet. So it's okay. Just today. Okay. Right? Simple enough. But then you lock in on, okay, you got the AM, you got midday, right? Post lunch. I get really sleepy after lunch. I usually go down for like a little quick nap, like on a day off. Like if I can afford it, I'm knocked out. You know what I'm saying? And so I can catch my second wind and push through. And then evening. That's the three. How do you do that well? How do you do that in the way that you need to, so that you really do make it, brother? You do get successful. You do achieve your hopes and dreams. You do hit your goals. You do witness your accomplishments. Struggle, pain, suffering, discomfort, sacrifice, discipline, consistency, boredom. It's a lot. These these things are not these things are not demons. But you better believe they are aspects of life you must fight. No one can tell me nothing when it comes to this. I'll never look at this any. I'm a stubborn fellow. Okay, never say never. But like as of right now, I am like super, locked in on this perspective, and that is, it's a fight. That's the perspective. It's brother. Oh my God, my brother in Christ. Are you kidding me right now? It's like it's literally one, like, weave and bob and like, bro, oh my God. Okay? You getting swung on more than you swing. It's such a fight. Cause you have to push. You you have, call it whatever you want. Okay, you know what I mean? Strength, willpower, effort. Electrical signals being fired um, throughout the neurons in your brain, so that your limbs can perform the action you desire. Okay, so, you know what I mean. I'm not good with the technical, like, sciencey stuff. So I really have to try. I really got to lock in for that. Call it whatever you want, but whatever you call it, you must summon forth the effort to enact. You don't, I don't know why it's like this. I hope and I pray to Father that it's not like this for all men. Okay? So I'm going to speak for myself here. It's not free. For the longest time, brother, I wished it was free. I hated myself that, like, life felt very unfair. It's not free for me. It seems free for everyone else. What I mean by it's not free is I always have to pay. I don't get to just have a great day. That's not how it works for me. If I have a great day, I have to fight. I have to claw for it. I have to make sure my butt stays in that ring, and I go round after round. Sometimes I win the round, sometimes I get KO'd. That's just how it is. That is just how it is. Like, if if I'm up when I need to be up, it's cause I landed a haymaker. You know what I mean? Like if I if I make sure to hit my meal prep, not do takeout. You know what I mean? Keep it to water. like minimal sugar, these are successful swings for me. You feel that, bro? It's all a fight. It's all a fight. Main event of the main event of that given uh, the main event of that specific day, you know, um, the highlight of that day's fight is deep work. Okay, that's deep work, brother. Is when I'm swinging for my life. That, you know what I mean? Like, that's the nature of deep work, though. It's dope. It's dope. Don't let my dramatization like discourage you. It's fire because you're giving it everything you got. You're supposed to. And that's how you get better. That's how you grow. That's how you grow, bro. That's why it's dope. And then however the evenings go, like all of that is our fight. If you're willing to, that's the only way you extract meaning from an existence like this. Oh, stop playing. Look at the world. This is crazy, bro. It's freaking wild, is what it is. It's just freaking wild. Do I need to, like, I will. Of course it's what I do. Of course I'm going to say more. But before I do, you feel me? Like, I think whoever you are, brother, I believe you get it. Like, that's all I got to say. It's freaking wild. And I feel like I see you and you're just like, I know. Like, everything. Okay. Woman, if you're single, women, money, security, shelter, health, community, society. It's freaking crazy. But if you and I lay down, like if John never showed up to do what he did, well, there'd be no movie. But everyone would have just died. That is really dramatic. But brother, even in our reality, right now in 2026, is it though? Is it really that far of a stretch for me to say people die? I'm not saying you and I are responsible for the lives of people, you know what I mean? That, like, we are individuals. I don't know what kind of life you're living, but it's safe to say you're not going to meet millions and millions and millions of people before it's all said and done. You'll meet a select few that you were fated to by Father. That's my belief. So it's not like oh my god, I'm not living my best life. What's the body count? You know what I mean? Like how many are no, of course not. It's just if you were if you are doing everything that you possibly can to be your very best, this is what I'm saying, brother. You have no idea how many people that is going to positively affect. And that's why this film is freaking fire. That's why, like, Constantine, besides the choreography and besides the CGI, and Keanu Reeves is just dope, besides all of that, John never stops showing up. Just demon after demon after demon after demon after demon. The man's a machine. When he got the, like, let's freaking go, bro. Let's freaking go. When he got the Holy Cross shotgun, I was like, is this why they casted him as John Wick? You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's actually kind of funny. I just realized John and John. But you know what I mean? like like for John Wick 1, and they were just like, Robert Downey Jr. Ben Affleck. He's he's booked. He's doing Batman right now. Man, like who's gonna be John Wick? And then they saw Constantine and with the freaking shotgun, and they were just like, oh, call him right now, call him right now. I freaking love the John Wick series. I don't know if I could. Maybe in the future. Like, you remember that little girl in the beginning, bro? She, that was that. Uncomfortable. This is like a little. It could have got really gory, And I don't want to take it there because if you've seen it, then bro. You know what that thing was trying to do. If if John didn't make it in time, brother, it really can't be said. For a man who self-actualizes, he'll never know who he got to just in time. Before an evil of this world, an evil is very real. If you remember a belief of mine of just reality, it's in everyone. It's in everyone. You know? How do you know someone's good? It's when they don't allow themselves to. Because if you run with what I believe, everyone has evil in them. But then there are so many people that are freaking great. What the heck? Like this person's just awesome. How? That evil is it's a restraint of the spirit. Because you know what I'm saying? Because like evil is not necessarily tangible, but it absolutely is a force, and its effects are very real. Good Lord, look at the news. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, don't actually, be informed, but oh my God, like you watch the news. I don't know, for like a few days straight, and you just like that is, I don't think they have an antidepressant for that. It's you know what I mean, but at the same time, it's a business, and I think they learned way back in the day, like the shocking, awful, horrible tragedy stuff is what makes people like, you know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I mean? Like, um, you know, shout out to our parents. They're freaking amazing. They're the reason why you and me are sitting here right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, turn the volume up. Shut up. Turn the volume up. What happened today? Yeah. See, you don't do that. You don't do that when yeah, it's like the Girl Scouts hit their milestone and they're all going to be able to go to Disney, or because they broke the school record for selling cookies. You don't. I don't. Unfortunately, I think that's freaking. I think that's pretty sweet. But like just in general, like we just like people are just like, but you're right. But when it's breaking a crazy masked serial at large escaped convict, and okay, we have someone live at the scene right now, interviewing, one of the victims. Evil's very real. So it just can't be said the amount of good that comes from men who understand. If I can just figure out my own situation of like, what the frick was I put on this planet to do? And I do it. Who knows what that could lead to? Who freaking knows? In this film, Constantine, the way I love the way the director did it, where they took it, humanity was saved. Humanity was saved because if Mammon had made it out, if Mammon had been born, I'm pretty sure that would have been a wrap. All right, that's like the great battle. This is not actually real. This is all fictional. I can't. I don't want to freak anybody out because I, you know what I'm saying. I don't know if like you just tuned in. Like it's none of this is biblical. It's all good. Like that. No worries. Jesus really is the greatest of all time, and he is on his way back. Like it's all good, bro. We already won. No, I'm serious. That's biblical too. That's actually like we already won. All right. Okay. Just make sure you know whose side you're on. That's all. Um, but in film, uh, the devil had a son as well. Off right to like do battle, right? It's, you know what I'm saying, like you gotta come on, you know what I'm saying, how else do you create the epic action? And the devil's son's name is Mammon, and Mammon was about to be born. Okay, this is such an interesting, it's one of the most powerful scenes of the film. I loved it because no, I come on, you got to give it up, you got to give it up. I always try to make sure whenever I see, you know, truly great performances, the actor or actress disappears. That this is just me, but like really, really, really fire uh, movie scenes, whoever that actor or actress is, they literally vanish. It's magic. They vanish into thin air, and you only see the character they're trying to show you. This fellow right here, bro, the way he played Satan, I was like, yo, it's goosebumps. In the bad way. So sly, so conniving, so poetic, actually. I found his lines very intentional. He's he's he seems to be like, oh man, you remember like when you the way he was like interacting and speaking to John, right? He's like savoring every moment of the evil that's transpiring right now. And this scene is crazy. You have a man who his entire life, he was a faithless man, which is weird. It's an interesting dynamic because John's everything he's doing is just to try to make sure he gets a seat. He's just trying to make sure, like when I get up there, Peter's like, okay, all right, let's go, John. Yeah, you're good, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's, all right, it's fine. Okay, I'm getting gassed. I was like, oh, can I think of a good punch? You know what I mean? Like, like I just because Peter's dope. Because Saint Peter's freaking awesome. I just feel like he would be like, yeah. So come on. He would. I'm not even clowning him. I just really feel like he'd be like, so drinks. All right there, and then yeah. Oh, like the most everyone who's dancing, that's gonna be this way. You're gonna want to go this way, okay? The gallery. Oh, like you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. He's John is just trying to make sure, right? Then when he gets up there, he doesn't get that right dreadful news. Sorry, brother, you're not on the list. But yet, the way he lives, though, he's so bitter because he doesn't see this as a gift. He sees it as a curse. He's like, I don't want to see everyone's demons. I don't want to do this. I might be good at it. I'm not trying to freaking, you know what I'm saying? The holy shotgun. I'm sorry. That scene was so bad, but that was like that was awesome. He would like, come on. It was a whole cafeteria full of demons, and he was just like, I got it. Like me and my shotty, like I got it. It's freaking dope. But he didn't want to. He didn't want to live like that, right? And so at the very end of the film, and he's afraid too because I don't want to get, I don't know enough about this. It's I believe it's one of the most controversial aspects of the Bible, of Father's word. Um, how unaliving what that does to a human soul. And so that's why John is kind of like, I don't know like what's going to happen to me, because I tried to do that and I was just unsuccessful. But his sacrifice. What is this? How does the meme go? Are you a zoomer, bro? You got to help me out here. How does the meme go? The masculine urge. There we go. The masculine urge memes. Those are great. The masculine urge to sacrifice oneself for the greater good. And he did. For once again, he fell for her. Okay, I'm just saying. Well, see, I believe John would have done that no matter what. You know what I mean? Like if that was his boy, if that was just some innocent bystander. I mean, hey, we literally, um, it wasn't taken to that extreme. He was just there and he solved the problem. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, come on, like you feel me on that, bro? As a man, that is proper incentive right there when it's the love of your life. But nonetheless, he sacrificed himself. He was like, okay, all right, take me, leave her alone. Okay, don't because in the film Gabriel got corrupted. And so remember, I immediately verified this with the Bible, and the Bible was like, no, not even close. Gabriel is actually Gabriel's actually flawless. Gabriel just been serving Father. I was like, I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like one is enough. No, it's not. One is too much, but it still happened. And you know what I mean? Like can't ain't nobody is gonna be able to rehash the past. So in this way, one is enough. And I was just like, no, Gabriel, no, biblically speaking, Gabriel is clean and doing awesome stuff right now. But in this film, Gabriel was corrupted. Gabriel believed that you and I, this is pretty crazy actually, if you were to use 2026, Gabriel believes that like you and me right now, bro, we're not suffering enough. The modern male plight isn't heavy enough. It needs to be worse, because that's how you and I truly turn to Father for salvation and whatnot. Debatable, controversial stuff. And where Gabriel went wrong, I believe the heart posture. My Christian mentors tell me quite often, heart posture. So no one can know this. It's not possible. Because no, I mean, like people who smart people can deduce and they can get really close. Like I'm pretty sure you know what I mean, but truly that's not possible, because it's a matter of the spirit. It's a matter of the soul. Posture of the heart, to the best of my understanding, is what you really meant. What you really meant truly. No BS. That only God can really know. And so I believe that Gabriel's heart posture was holy. Methodology, not so much, but the posture, holy. Mm-hmm. Because Gabriel loves that. And Gabriel was like, I love him so much, I don't like any of you. Like to us human beings. No. Like you're all L. Straight absolute L's. None of you love Father enough. Let me change that. Let me and so the mistake was elevating oneself to a position only Father may hold. There are just some things that humankind cannot play with, not even close. So these are things like judgment, is one of them. Not that we shouldn't, right? Because law, legislation, crime, you know what I mean? Protecting people. Yeah, but like to truly, I'm really trying to identify aspects of that are reserved for dad. So this, true judgment, true condemnation, killing, so death, you know, like stuff like this. That's all. That's all the Almighty. And in this film, Gabriel um, exalted himself to this position and lost favor. That was crazy, dude. Um, because right, it was hard. It was like that's an archangel right there, an extremely powerful being, even in the biblical hierarchy. Okay, like right, and so Gabriel seemed to summon this birthright, how dad created Gabriel. Gabriel was like, I'm going to use that right now and smite Satan, which I'm a fan. Of course, like, let's go. And Gabriel tried and was freaking blown away, got wrecked because it's not anyone. I don't mean to be blasphemous because I'm speculating now. This is just what I this is how I believe it works. Human being, archangel, doesn't matter. Without father, it, it doesn't matter. You want to talk about power. You want to talk about authority. You want to talk about um um uh like good, the triumph of good. God's got to be there. It's God that backs that upholds it, supports it, reinforces it. Okay, and Gabriel had lost that because of the corruption. That was, what I'm saying? So, like, no wings, became mortal. And John caught that so quick. John was just like, "You son of a," no, that's right. That's why Gabriel was like, do it. Come on, press it. You want to. And John was like, "No, no, 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 no. You're not getting out of this that easily. You're going to experience what you so condemned." And then swung on him. And yeah, that scene, was showing, for the very first time that's what it would be like for an archangel to feel pain. Until this will till the forgive me. How do you say her last name? All right, but the legendary Tilda Swin. Ah, man. You know what I'm saying? I look at IMDb before I do this, and I just god dang it! I'm getting so caught up in freaking Satan and Gabriel and John Constantine. She the way she performed it, it was great because just like, oh my god, it wasn't just a punch in the mouth. It was, I have never felt this before. That's how John's soul was saved, dude. My man, my man, like a machine, like a soldier, like a champion. He executed the meaning of his life every single day, even when he didn't want to, even when he hated it, even when it was the last thing that he wanted to do. He continued to, because the Lord knows every step you take before you take it forever. It's not even your life. If you lived forever, that will still always know where you're headed. Incredible. And so I love that. I love that because now we get to see by the end of the film, oh, so this is why God made sure he was unsuccessful when he tried to take his own life as a teenager. Because if he had been successful, he would not have been there to ensure Mammon was not born and the ensuing aftermath decimating the rest of humankind. No, instead, he did it. He made the sacrifice play. And Satan, it was ear to ear. Satan's grin was ear to ear. Let's go. Yes. With the hiss too, right, bro? Yes. You're mine. I get to have you now. I get to play with you now. Forever down there in my house. And the ground, brother. Reality warps. Reality freaking warps. It's so because Satan does that. Once again, I just wanted to, you know what I mean? Because now that I have to talk about him a little bit, nah, but I want to keep it real though. He's not even like that. He's not even like that. He's actually stuck here. Well, you know what I'm saying? It's it's awful though, because that's why he's trolling all of us, well, like human beings for as long as we've been around. But you know what I mean? This is his prison, and he's prowling like a roaring lion right now. You know, looking for souls to devour. But in the film, he's shown to be very powerful. Okay, I just wanted you to know, like whoever's listening right now, no, it ain't even like that. The fight's very real. The struggle against him and his ways and his evil ways is very real, but it's not like that. But I just wanted to say that before I note what I loved about this moment right here. So he's so powerful. He freezes time. That's crazy. Okay. So it like to me, when time froze, that's showcasing Satan's control over mortal reality. He can do as he sees fit. One last time. That's not even that's not that in his dreams, like actually, like he can't do that. But in this movie, like, right, all the glass, everything frozen. He doesn't have to touch anything. When he wants to make a pathway, he just walks up to it, and epic explosion. Don't look at it because he's trying to be cool, and he walks through. So like that's like, okay, oh, it's the devil. Oh my God, it's the devil. Such power, right? And because John, because he did, all right, I believe that the narrow path, well, this is what I was taught. And I'm still, to be honest with you, bro, I know I keep it real here at the Pillars of Men. This is what I was taught, but I'm reckoning with it though. I'm trying to understand it. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Okay, but this is what I was taught. The narrow path. So when you find God and you're reborn, and you know what I'm saying, now you got your cross and all that, and it's like, all right, you bright son of the light, best of luck, off you go. Where are you going? You're going to be like Christ. This is what I was taught. That's what happens. So like when you get better, biblically though, because you can get better and you can still be one evil mother. But biblically, when you get better, the further you go, just the more that you're gonna be like Jesus. That's freaking awesome. And I'm trying to, on my own personal walk of faith with Father, I'm trying to I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to, like, how the heck do I do this? Is what I'm trying to say. And so John did it. He did it. Even as a broken man. Hear me, brother. Even hating the meaning of his life, even suicidal, even Stormcloud everywhere he went. He's so mean to, you know what I mean, Shia LaBeouf is in this film. He's so mean to Shia. Like, come on, man, But that was so sad. That was actually so sad. I was like, yo, what? This Do you remember when Shia LaBeouf's character was like reciting like the scripture perfectly in ways John was failing to do so? Like and him and the oh god dang it. Forgive me. I'm not trying to call him the token black guy. I'm not trying to say that. I actually can't remember his name right now. That's my bad. Okay. Cause he's dope. Cause he's freaking awesome. And he's a very important character in the film. All right. But he is the token black guy. You know what I mean? Like you know that the stereotypical joke in Hollywood. Him and John looked at Shia LaBeouf with awe. So like, hey, like I just wanted to give him his shine right there because he was shining very brightly. Like this is so dope. It's just that's his faith. That's evidence of how much he loves Father. And he doesn't get to make it. Like, come on, God dang it, dude. And so all his life, brother, all his life, John is just like, man, like, I'll do it, but I freaking hate this place. And I hate me. I hate myself. And if you weren't cool with him, he probably hated you too. You know what I mean? This dude was okay. This dude was the epitome of gloom and doom. And in his final moments, he is at his most Christ-like. Because that's why he's the greatest of all time. This is why he is the Lamb, the Son of Man, and the Anointed One. Because he's done what no one has come close to doing. Not like that. It's the ultimate. I don't even want to say masculine sacrifice because he was a man, but that is that seems to be the ultimate existential. If I could go a little bit cleaner, that is the most humane sacrifice possible, which is why it's the greatest gift to humanity. That's in the Bible because it says Father gave, which means God said, I'm going to give this to all of you because that's how much I love all of you. And what he gave was what happened on the cross. John, that's what he does to save humanity. He's like, hey, take me instead. And that's when Satan starts to celebrate and he starts dragging him to hell. And I believe what saves him is because God's always watching. And God was like, whoa, my son right there. He just did his own version of one of the greatest acts of love in all of Christianity, the Bible, and human history itself. And with all his power, with all of Satan's might, we just saw it. Froze time, you know what I'm saying? Everything, like he can do whatever he wants. And he couldn't do that. And he couldn't take it. He couldn't take this man. This soul no longer belongs to you. And right, that's why the ground warped. To show it doesn't matter what you do now, you're not, God was like, he will not budge another inch. And Satan realizes this. That's why he starts to get upset. He's like, because he realizes, right? Satan's like, God dang it. He just got saved, didn't he? You bet. Yep. Let's go. Remember, I'm on. Can I do this on YouTube? I don't know. I don't want to risk it. But remember what Keanu Reeves did? He was like, to be like, yes, in your face. I freaking made it. I freaking made it. And the enemy is subtle, and the enemy is clever. And so, it, in his, you have to. It has to be said, in his exceptional understanding of man's relationship with God, he outplays, essentially. Unfortunately, he like, you know what I mean? Like Satan right there, his mind's racing. No, that's what it is. A rebellious spirit, the first rebellious spirit. No, I don't accept this. How can I? Now there's got to be something I can do here. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You know what I mean? Like trying to always oppose God. Oh, I know. And that's when he saves John, takes the cancer out of him to condemn him. It's an attempt at condemnation, because he knows John's spirit so well. If I just make you stay here for a little bit longer, you'll be mine. You'll make it back down here. I know you, John. You'll make it back down here. So let me do that. And he heals him. And so now that he's healed, well, right? God is that is an interesting dilemma for God, because you know what I mean? Like, it's not possible, but I'm going to try for a second. As God, you're seeing this, and it's like, okay, well, he's actually perfectly healthy right now. You know what I mean? He's young. He's not even that old. He's perfectly healthy. All right. All right. I guess he will continue to live, and he does have free will. So for anyone that's like, but God is God. What the frick? Bring him up anyways. My boy deserves it. Get him up there. Start the party. I feel that. I'd say that. Like, I'm with it. I would have been like, yo, dad. Like, no, it's all good. Like, let him up. Like, what? John was down. John wasn't like, let me live, God. No, John was like, all right, see you in a little bit. Yeah, you Satan, suck it. No. He's like, you're living. You're gonna keep living. I wanna end on this. You'll never know if that's why you're going through what you're going through right now, brother. Like, you vibed with me tonight, and you were here for all of this, and you're thinking, all right, you're like, meaning, and I need that, and it's gonna make me suffer, but that's the only way to really live my best life. That's one thing to say. It's a completely different thing to actually do and live. And you'll never know if that's happening. Because I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. Eventually, this is just me. This is just a humble opinion of mine. But I genuinely believe sooner or later, a man will wake up. A man will see a day where he thinks to himself, what the fudge am I doing? Why am I living like this? Have I lost my mind? Millionaire? How many kids? You know, like, like, uh, uh, till sickness and death, till death do us part, eternity. Okay. What, wifey now and forever? You know what I mean? Like that whole part of the male human experience, like, just all of it, like, like, how big are we going to try to grow this company? You know what I mean? You wake up and you're just like, what the, but you'll never know if that's because God needs you. He needs you to continue. And it's not that he doesn't love you. And it's not that God isn't pumped to vibe with you. But but when you're saved and you're heaven bound, that's inevitable. And that's awesome. That's something to take comfort in. But when is not up to you and me. Even for how beautifully uh this is beautifully showcased with John's fate. It in the Bible it says there is no, forgive me for butchering this. It's like something like there is no greater gift than to give one's own life. John gave it like that. John was like, it's all good. It's on me. Don't worry about it. I've been looking for a way out. Okay? Like Satan was so ready to torture him for eternity. And what this man do? Take a drag, looked at him, was just like, all right, let's get it going. And his God will always have the final say. And it seems his ultimate decision was, son, that was awesome. You're right. I really, like my personal interpretation of how well I know God, Dad really would have been like, my boy, that was dope. I see what you did. Fantastic work. I'm so proud of you. But you are very healthy right now. You don't have cancer anymore. You don't actually, like, what's it never says. I'm just, what I'm saying, I'm just using physicality. I'm eyeballing here. He's like late 20s, no older than uh, uh early mid 30s. For the average lifespan of a man in modern times, that's very young. You're healthy. You got the rest of your life ahead of you. I'm going to need you to keep going. Meaning, brother, purpose. You're thinking, what is it? Well, none of us are John Constantine. That's a freaking DC comic book superhero. Like what? I know, but that doesn't mean you're not the superhero of your own story. If you knew, those depending on you, those who need you, I don't know, brother. I don't know if you'd still be so hesitant in your reluctance to live your best life. If you could hear your kids call you, if you could see the silhouette of your wife in that doorway, like, can you please come in? Just everybody, everyone. You might be looking at me right now like there's no one. Not right now. You can't tell me, brother. You won't meet them if you keep going. If you keep trying as hard as you can, as often as you can, as much as you can, however you can. Brother, that's the game. That's life. And it's just without that, that is really difficult to figure out why. For anything. Brother. Money, get jacked. Cars, hot babes. Why? when you make it about God and you make it about seeking the kingdom, which puts you on the best path to seeking the best version of you, you you you're gonna see why. Because you'll be living it. You'll be living it, big guy. And when you are, it's just a lot more difficult to be depressed, addicted, bitter, resentful, lazy. It really, these are all very real problems. In extreme cases, you cannot do this alone. You absolutely would need help. You would need to find the proper services and people to really, like, help you. But no matter what they are, okay, if you can remember at the very beginning of tonight's episode, I was like, hey bro, tonight let's just really try to whittle all of this down. We're just boiling it all down. Meaning, bro, meaning. And I highly recommend you I highly recommend you don't just pursue meaning. Chase it under the guidance of the Lord. And and remember, viewer discretion is advised because there is disturbing imagery in this film. But if that's cool with you, and you want to see this live, you want to see what it's really like, for that, for this specific worldview of the modern male human experience and of the modern male plight. Brother, check out Constantine, 2005, starring Keanu Reeves, and alongside a star-studded cast. It's good, bro. Is really good. It's got me looking at my Bible a little bit differently, I have to say. Like, this is all fiction, but I geek out about this stuff. And so if you ever need help, or you're just looking for another fellow doing the same, then you'll find me right here at the Pillars of Men podcast. That's what I do. I talk about God, movies, and anime to help you with your life. And if you like stuff like that, hit the subscribe button for me. You're listening on Spotify, you follow me on there. Wherever you find this, brother, you shoot me a follow. I'd love to catch you for the next one. But until then, take it easy, take good care of yourself, and I love you so much. Peace.